How long can you stay?
45 minutes.
You know, that's enough time to borrow Kevin and Joey's sled and take a spin down Killer Hill out back.
See, you would like that a lot better, wouldn't you?
It's a lot safer. Every time I look at a pair of skis, I wonder how I'd conduct or play with a broken arm. Still, it would have been very romantic had it not been for Nurse Braun's flu.
Ever since I have known Regina, I don't think she has been sick a day in her life. She has a constitution of an ox and a personality to go with it. Just our luck, huh?
We are not going to dwell on the fact that we cannot escape Landview. We're just going to dwell on each other for the next 44 minutes.
Look, Bo, why don't you come over and we'll hash this thing out? Well, no, we don't have anything planned for tonight. What time? Sure, that's good. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
How's he feeling?
Well, physically, he's a little sore. Emotionally, he feels he's been had. He says that Pa did a number on all of us. He never had any plans at all of returning that money.
Well, how did Bo find that out? I can't believe Asa would have told him.
No, it was Hawk, the fellow he had a fight with in the warehouse. It seems that Asa and President Guerrero were going to split the money, and now that Guerrero's dead, Pa doesn't have anyone to account to.
Sweetheart, when he refused to bring in the police, I knew that Asa wasn't being honest with us.
Well, Bill says he let him have it with both barrels, but that's not going to stop him. He's going to keep on searching for Christophori.
What the hell's going on? What is this?
What's this? What's this? I'm not very musical, but I'd call it a piano.
I know it's a piano, partner. I mean, what are you going to do to it?
Does this look like a paintbrush to you?
Well, why in tarnation would you paint this thing white?
Because Mrs. Schenk paid me to. I mean, do you know her?
Yeah, I know her about 30 years. Even I think she had more sense to do a thing like this.
No. Who can account for taste? She explained to me that this baby is going to be the star of her new club. She wants it to shine.
Where is Mrs. Schenk?
Went to Mr. Vernon's office. Said she'd be right back.
Stop. That is not the color I chose. That's not the shade I ordered.
It's not.
No, I want a whiter white, one with a higher gloss.
I'm sorry, Miss Schenk. I swear this is the one you decided on.
Well, I swear it isn't, and if it is, I was wrong.
Oh, Lucinda, what's the difference? White is white.
That's nonsense. Honey, that's why people hire decorators or wives who know a little bit of something about it. How are you, sweetheart?
I'm fine.
Good. Now, Mr. Willoughby, in your truck, have you got all the cans we went over yesterday?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I want you to go right down there now and pick out the one that's the whitest possible with the highest amount of gloss.
You'll be right back.
Then come right back here and show me a sample.
Right back.
I suppose you think I'm loco, don't you?
Oh, no, Lucy. I just know you.
Well, you see, what I am trying for is a piano with a high gloss so it shimmers. Yeah. Picture this room dark with just a spotlight shining on me and this piano. Now, the effect I want is like a diamond in a coal mine or a lone star in a black Texas sky. You got it?
Mm-hmm. When's the place going to open, Lucy?
Oh, please. Oh, these delays are killing me, I tell you. If one company promises me in 15 days they're going to have something, maybe they'll deliver it in 25.
Well, at least you're making progress, and with any luck, you'll be alive when you open the doors.
Hey, what's the matter with you, honey? What happened to that famous Buchanan smile? What's the matter with you? It looks like your lips are glued down to the corners.
There's nothing to smile about, Lucy. Bo was almost killed, and he's blaming me.
Oh, I know. Chuck filled me in. But, honey, if you weren't so hell-bent on finding that money, you'd have nobody to blame.
Mm-hmm. Well, nobody told him to go meet a killer alone, and he hasn't got the brains that God gave him at birth.
I leave God out of this. I think it has more to do with the genes than anything else.
I'm going to tell you something. He told me off and stormed out. You know what that means? Another family feud.
Well, family feud for the Buchanans is like eggs and ham for breakfast.
Mm-hmm. And, of course, Clint's going to join him, and both will be against me. 2 weeks in a new year, and it's already down the damn toilet.
Oh, come on, honey, simmer down. Look, maybe what you need is a woman's touch.
Mm-hmm. I thought about that. Becky Lee pleading my case on account of little Drew.
Becky Lee is not who I had in mind. Me, that's who I had in mind. You need a strong woman to stand up for you. Stand up for you. Instead of choosing these wilting violets, you need a strong woman so you can lean on somebody for a change.
Here we go, Mrs. Schenck. This has the most gloss of any white we looked at.
Good, good. Now, what I want you to do is put a little sample right here. All right?
Lucinda, you wouldn't happen to have any sour mash stashed in behind your bar now, would you?
Well, now, I just happen to have a little sour mash, because I thought maybe you'd be asking for some. It's right behind there in the sink. Now, let's take a look. Now, that's better. A little bit more, please. Ah, that glows! Hallelujah, that glows!
You got
it. Boy!
You got it.
Herb's filed for a divorce. I don't believe it. He's filed so quickly.
Are you sure you've told me everything, Dorian? Did you and David have an affair?
No.
Well, what then? I mean, Herb is too level-headed to file for divorce just because you're infatuated with David. He must know that surely in time you'd get...
Please, will you stop interrogating me? If you're not going to be a friend, why don't you just get out of here?
I'll think about that choice for a minute or two.
I'm sorry. Please forgive me, really. It's just... my nerves are absolutely shattered. I didn't think he was going to move this quickly. I really didn't. He's doing it purposely, you know. He's not giving me enough time to win Cassie back. And by filing for divorce, he's hoping that she's going to just swear allegiance to him.
Well, he may be doing something else. He may be just trying to shake you up a bit. I mean, that piece of paper means that you're going to have to choose between Herb and David.
What kind of a choice can I make? I don't have either of them at the moment.
Doesn't this make you realize how important Herb is to you and how little you really feel for David? Oh, Dorian, you're really in love with David, aren't you?
It's a love that has all the attributes of a fatal illness. And I don't know how to cure it.
Though I think if I could at least have my family back, that I would feel as if I was in control. However, I'd better face it. I've lost them. I've lost both of them.
You never give up this easily, Dorian.
Please. I haven't got the strength this time.
Well, just because you're sitting around brooding, you should throw yourself back into your work.
My work? What? The hospital board? The Philharmonic? How about WVLE? Would you like me hanging around there even more? Issuing even more orders? Mm-hmm.
Well,
You know what I need? I need something new. A new project, something I initiate. Something that will involve me 24 hours a day so that I won't even think about my husband or my daughter.
Coming, Cassie. Hi. What's wrong?
Simon, I got your message that you wanted to see me. What do you want? I only have 5 minutes. I have to get back to school.
What's going on? What's the matter?
Well, I didn't understand what was going on last night when you practically threw me out because Dan Wollick wanted to interview you.
Cass, it wasn't an interview exactly.
Well, whatever it was, Simon. I mean, it just seemed like that was more important than I was.
I had to talk to Dan. It was very important. If I didn't talk to him, he could have caused me a lot of trouble.
How?
Look, would you sit down for a minute, please?
I don't really have a lot of time.
I think you do. This is very important, and I think it'll explain a few things. Listen. I care about you very much. In fact,
I'm falling in love with you.
Is that your explanation?
No. When we first started going out, I thought you were just another girl that I was attracted to. I thought we could have some fun together. But then I realized that you might be the most important girl in the world to me. And I felt very uncomfortable about lying to you.
Lying?
Lying by leaving out some details. Well, the fact is, Cass, I'm not exactly... Before I came east, I spent about 2 years fighting in San Carlos as a guerrilla on the rebel side.
Come on, Simon, I'm not an idiot.
Neither am I.
You? But why'd you go to that country? You're American.
I'm also a human being. Well, I used to be, anyway, until I found out what war was really like.
You mean you just took off and signed up?
No. I had a roommate in school. He was from San Carlos. His name was Juan. We'd sit up late at night and we'd discuss the injustice of Guerrero and his army, and we talked ourselves into joining up.
This is really true. I mean, you were really in battles.
I was in more battles than I wanted to be in. Anyway, I was wounded over there, and I was smuggled out of San Carlos into the United States. Juan wasn't so lucky.
He died?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I saw a lot of men die. I still see men die. In the middle of the night, I wake up and Anyway, Dan found out that Geraldo Diaz was my orderly at the clinic where I had some reconstructive surgery done on my face.
You mean this isn't your real face?
Well, most of it is. They did a real good job. Dan talked to me on the phone, and he said some things that made me realize I had to talk to him. If I didn't talk to him, he was going to spill my life story in the paper. And if that happened, I'd be in danger, and you'd be in danger, or anybody that I hung around with would be in danger.
Well, I hope he agreed.
He did.
So, Simon, why are you in Landview?
I'm in Landview because of David Rinaldi. You see, well, I mean, you know, because of the job. David offered
Wait a
me a
second.
job.
What were you going to say about David?
Cass, if I tell you this, you got to promise you can't tell anyone.
I won't. I swear. Was David involved in San Carlos, too?
David Rinaldi is practically a legend among human rights organizations, not only in San Carlos, but all over the world. He's helped save people that were marked for death by different repressive governments. And we argue now because he says he's out of it. He says he wants a quiet life. But he took me in, and he probably saved my life, too.
You and David, both heroes.
It's not like that.
What do you mean? You risk your life to save other people? If everyone knew this, do you know...
Now, Cass, please, you can't say anything.
I'm not going to tell anyone, but if everyone knew... Are you still involved in all this?
No. No, when I got out of the hospital, the rebels had taken over, and they didn't need me anymore. So now I'm trying to start a new life, just like David's trying to start a new life.
Simon, it's incredible. I'm sorry I was mad at you before.
I don't blame you.
Here, I thought all this time that you were just interested in putting your name in the banner, that you didn't care about me.
Never, Cass. You come first. You'll always come first.
I really have to get going.
Can't you cut school today?
No, I can't. Oh, imagine you, a rifle in your hand, fighting in the jungle.
You make it sound like something out of a bad novel. We were just people.
No, you weren't. You're a lot different than regular people. Most people wouldn't do things like that. I'll call you tomorrow, okay? I'll call you tonight, I mean.
Well, aren't you going to come over?
Well, I can't. I have to study for a test.
Oh.
Maybe I'll see you tonight or tomorrow.
Okay.
Simon, thanks for confiding in me.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, Cass.
Can't figure out how this piano got amongst my things in the ambassador basement.
Yeah, well, your name was on the crate. I saw it myself.
No return address?
None.
You know, I just had a thought. Maybe Sam ordered this. You know, we just started to move in the mansion, and then everything blew up. This thing might have gotten lost in the shuffle.
That could be.
We'll ask Sam about that sometime.
It could even have been Mimi.
Mimi?
On one of those nights when you were promising her the moon and the stars.
No, honey, no Mimi. She's just like furs and jewels. Piano playing was for you. Anyway, honey, I enjoyed a little chat. I better be going.
Oh, listen, if you fill me in on the details, I'll be happy to speak to both for you.
Well, I'll tell you, it's best you stay out of it unless you get them riled at you, too.
What are you going to do?
Well, I'm going to plead my case to Vicky and Clint, and like I told you before, they ain't going to believe me. Take both sides.
Well, I wish you good luck, partner. I'm on your side, you know that. See you later at the house.
Oh, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to guarantee it. That she's going to change your mind when you put that gloss on after you're through. Understand me? Bye.
Does he mean that?
That man. That man doesn't know Lucy. When she makes up her mind to something, she never changes it. No, but he's going to find out. Lucy's going to win that prize she set out for 30 years ago.
Why don't you write that one up while I phone this into Briggs, right? Hello?
Mrs. Buchanan, please.
Speaking.
Oh, Mrs. Buchanan, this is Suzanne Allardyce. Do you remember me?
Mrs. Allardyce? Yes, of course I do.
I wanted to thank you for the way that you handled that article about me.
You're entirely welcome. But that was quite a while ago. Did you only just see a copy?
No, that's not really why I am calling. I was thinking of taking a trip to Landview this afternoon.
Really?
Yes, and I'd like to see you. It won't take much of your time. Do you suppose you could fit me in sometime early this evening?
Well, certainly. That wouldn't be a problem.
About 7 o'clock?
Yes, that's fine. Was there anything in particular you wanted to speak to me about?
Yes, there is, but I'll explain it to you when I see you. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Mrs. Allardyce, Guiretto's widow, is coming here?
Yes. I wonder why.
Oh. It's cold and it is starting to snow.
Yeah?
Yep.
Think there's any possibility that we could get snowed in before I have to leave?
Do you think there's any possibility you can get somebody at the hospital to take your place?
Regina said she tried every available nurse.
You know, I would complain about your dedication to pediatrics, except I admire it too much. Oh, well.
Ooh, that's hot.
It just came off the stove. Are you okay?
I'm not sure. You better kiss me and let's find out.
Well,
I'm still not sure. We better keep trying.
I detect recovery.
Well.
Dad.
Don't talk. Don't talk.
Dad, I don't want to, but this is masochistic. I've got to go back to work.
Okay. Then we better revert to conversation.
Okay.
I have something to tell you.
Not another secret.
I think you know this one. Or if you don't, you should.
What?
I love you, Jenny.
You say that to all the girls you take skiing?
Don't joke. This is no joke. I am completely, madly, and happily in love with you. You are everything that I have ever looked for in one single person.
Never looked in a hospital before, did you?
Why do you refuse to take me seriously?
Because I am scared.
Why?
When you say that word, love, it means commitment. And commitment means problems.
Wait a minute. Wait just a minute. I'm not Brad Vernon, and love does not automatically lead to pain.
I know who you are. I'm afraid of labeling how I feel about you because...
Because?
Because... I gotta go to the hospital.
Wait a minute. You cannot just go now. I have to know something. I can't just stay here all day wondering.
You picked a very weird time to get serious.
Okay, I know. That's very true, but I did. Now, please, come on. Come on.
I gotta go, okay?
Oh, wait.
I just stay right there, okay? Don't move. I really, I would love to stay, but I do have to go. Oh, I do have to go. Because, see, I'm sorry about leaving. I really am. I just have this one little problem. See, I'm afraid that I'm falling in love with you, too.
Back here. Come back here!
Hey, Laurel.
Hey, Mac.
How'd the bar business do last night?
Well, I don't understand it, but really great. Maybe the customers were so depressed after Delilah flounced off the stage that they tried to drown their sorrow.
Yeah, what are we going to do with her anyway?
Hey, don't look at me. You're the one who believes in pampering that woman. And while I'm complaining...
Is that what you're doing?
What are you doing handing Estelle Chadwick $1,000 for that crummy old building charity?
No, the historical buildings fund.
Well, if they're historic, they're old, right?
No.
Do you think that the upper crust of Landview society is going to come flocking in here?
Well, we're going to do something after that stunt of Delilah's last night.
Are you kidding? Mrs. Chadwick loved it. She was the center of attention for one shining moment.
Yeah, that's probably true. Probably saying right now, well, darlings, I discovered this most marvelous little place. You must get Buffy and Chi-Chi and Poo-Poo and the whole room.
Well, I doubt it seriously. I think she, I think it's just like throwing $1,000 into a trash compactor.
Yeah? Well, do you have any idea how many hundreds of thousands of dollars are involved in a charity ball?
And since when are you the expert? You're the only charity you've ever cared about.
Well, Sam can fill me in. I think we're in the wrong business, Lo.
So hang a sign outside that says Wildlife, a non-profit organization. Sometimes it wouldn't be such a lie. Hello? Anybody in there?
Yeah. Laurel, you just gave me an idea. I'm going to go make a few phone calls. Well, 7 o'clock. Lady's supposed to be by at 7, wasn't she?
Yep, I must be here right now. Wouldn't it be interesting? She brought some news about Christophori.
Well, if she doesn't bring it up, I'm going to.
We shall see. Yes.
There's a Mrs. Suzanne Allardyce to see you.
Yes, Heron. Please show her in, and would you bring some coffee? Thank you.
Mrs. Allardyce.
Good evening, Buchanan. Hello.
Nice to see you again.
Thank you.
May I introduce my husband, Clint Buchanan,
I'm
Suzanne
delighted.
Allardyce.
How do you do?
Pleasure's mine. Sit down.
Thank you.
Well, you must be more than relieved that the revolution is over.
Oh, yes, it was long and tragic. And it has made all the difference in the world. My son and I have... Well, look, I'm not going to take up your time. Let me get to the point. Are you familiar with this publication?
Pennsylvania Today? Yes, of course.
Yes. Well, I read an article in this issue about the Landview Philharmonic.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm here.
One Life to Live will continue in a moment.
I have the pages marked.
This issue is from a few weeks ago.
Yes, That's a very good picture of you, by the way.
Thank you. What is your interest in the Philharmonic?
Actually, a friend sent this copy to me, and since you had your picture in here, I was hoping that you could give me some of the names of the people in the other pictures.
Well, the names are all in the captions right under the...
No, they're not. Not all the pictures. For instance, here, this photograph. Who are the people here?
Mrs. Allardyce, would you mind explaining something to me? You make a trip all the way to Landview to ask about some...
Mr. Buchanan, I granted your wife as a favor an interview not long ago, and I need that favor returned now. The reason I can't disclose, but could you please help me?
I'll try. See, now this gentleman right here is Stuart Holmes. He publishes a monthly newsletter. Next to him is Cassie Callison. She's a high school student. She's an intern at the Philharmonic. The lady next to Cassie, I'm afraid I don't...
Oh, for crying out loud, there's enough dust on these bottles to give someone an allergy attack.
I didn't have enough time last night to...
Well, find time tonight.
What are you yelling at the help for, Lo?
Everything's starting to get sloppy around here. Even Alec is late. He's only been working here for 3 days.
Hey, relax. It's gonna be a long night. Wait for that until the wee small hours.
Or until Delilah arrives, whichever comes first. So, did anything come of that inspiration I gave you today?
Yeah, I made a few phone calls.
What are you up to, Mac?
It's up here. It's in the idea stage still.
I can tell already I'm glad the license for this club is in my name.
Hi, Alex. Sorry I'm late.
So am I.
Ah, forget it.
Look, Carla and I had one of those long talks.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Just long? You look like you're kind of down.
You know women.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, be careful, Alec. Laurel takes scalps.
No. What I really meant was the combination of men and women has its own problems.
On that, I will agree. Give me a coat.
How's the knee, huh?
Well, I don't know. I think I pushed it a little bit too hard in therapy today.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It'll be all right, though, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. It'll be okay. You know, I've been watching some of those kids in that orthopedic program I'm going to, you know? Youngsters who've had accidents or had a problem at birth, you know? And suddenly I realized that I don't have any reason to feel sorry for myself. I mean, I got a chance to do what I want to do. Some of those kids may not even walk, let alone play ball.
Is that therapy program part of the Landview Hospital?
Well, sort of. It's a clinic that is attached to the hospital. Great therapists. I mean, they tell me that with more of the latest equipment and more staff, they'd be able to do a lot more than they're doing. But as it happens, their budget depends on donations and grants.
I mean, you're talking real human need.
Oh, yeah. If you see some of those kids, you know what I mean.
You said you left Carla at home. Here she is, 2 minutes behind you.
Wow. What brings you here?
Aren't women allowed in?
Of course.
Well, I realized that I wasn't being completely fair to have such a strong opinion of this place because I'd never been here at night or watched what goes on here. So, I thought I'd spend the evening. And who knows? Maybe I'll feel differently.
Well, okay. Can I get you a table?
No, thank you. I'll just plunk myself down at the bar. No need to waste the table.
Carla, what an unexpected but delightful surprise.
Good evening.
Can I take your coat?
We'll just throw it over the chair.
Paul, the first drink is on the house for Mrs. Scott.
Why, thank you. I expect to be here for a while, so why don't we make it your basic club soda?
Ah, good thinking. 2 glasses of wine and I might have to pour you into a taxi cab. Hey, all customers, excuse me. Good evening, gentlemen. Well, welcome to Wildlife. I'm out.
Well, sure, 42.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Okay.
McConnell, what do you really want with Alec?
Have you met Laurel? This is Carla Scott, who's Alec's friend. This is Laurel Chapin.
Nice meeting you, Carla.
It's nice to meet you. Alex told me about you.
Yeah, would you ladies excuse me for a minute, please?
Well, I hope he had good things to say.
He thinks you're okay.
We think he's a real asset to wildlife.
I just wish that I felt that wildlife were an asset for him.
Do you have something against my club?
Not necessarily. I just think that Alec would be better off doing something different.
Well, honey, we don't have a chain on him, you know. I mean, he's enjoying himself. People make a big fuss over it. He may not be able to play football anymore, but all the customers make him feel like a star.
Dorian Callison, please. Hey, you might tell her it's Anthony McConnor calling.
Yes, Mr. McConnor?
Ah, Mrs. Callison. I was wondering whether you might be free tonight. I'd like to see you.
Whatever for?
I have a little proposition I'd like to throw your way. Might benefit both of us.
Thank you so much for your help.
Well, I'm delighted that we were able to help. I must say, I feel a little bit confused.
Oh, I know you're bewildered. I hope that all of this can be cleared up very soon. And I hope I didn't inconvenience you too much.
No, not at all. Mrs. Allardyce, may I ask you a question?
Certainly.
Does the name Christophori mean anything to you?
Christophori. Is there a last name with that?
No. Well, actually, we don't know. We don't know if Christophori is the name of a person, a place, a town.
I'm afraid I can't help you. I'm sorry.
Maybe your ex-husband had a friend, an acquaintance by that name?
No, not while I was with him. I'm sorry. Well, I'd better go now. Okay. Thank you.
Karen?
Yes, madam.
Would you show Mrs. Allardyce out, please?
Thank you so much.
Thank you again.
Take care.
Goodbye. What on earth was that all about?
You got me.
I think she must have recognized somebody in one of those photos, but she didn't know the name.
Yeah, or she thought she recognized someone, but wasn't sure and wanted confirmation.
Sweetheart, since she hasn't been involved in the San Carlos situation for so long, can we presume that there's no connection?
I hope so. Otherwise, we have to worry about some mystery person at the Philharmonic.
Mrs. Callison?
Yes, Jeffrey?
Connor just arrived.
Oh, very good. Show him in.
Mr. Connor?
Mrs. Callison.
That'll be all, Jeffrey.
I'm so glad you decided to let me come and visit you this evening.
Well, I had an hour to spare, and also your telephone call aroused my interest, Mr. McConnor.
Anthony. Dorian.
Can I get you a drink, Anthony?
A vodka on the rocks, thank you.
I hear that Estelle Chadwick made quite a scene at your establishment last night.
Yeah, she did set off the explosive temperament of our star attraction.
Yes, well, the minute I laid eyes on her, I must say I thought that Delilah was, at the very least, an exhibitionist.
Well, you have to come down and check her out for yourself some evening.
I'm sorry, Anthony, but that really isn't very high on my list of priorities.
Salute.
Please, sit down. So?
So?
To business.
Oh, yeah. Well, first of all, I want to tell you, you're one of the women in Lambview I really admire the most. Your philanthropy, your civic leadership, to say nothing of your business prowess, I mean, they're almost legendary in this town.
I can't wait to hear the punchline.
Well, I just wanted you to know why I thought of you.
But why?
Well, my reputation in Landview is, shall we say, a little tarnished. Now, I don't for the life of me know why, but it is. And so I thought I'd start a foundation, a charitable foundation, of course, and thereby start a new reputation.
What kind of charitable foundation?
Well, you know, Alec Lowndes works for me. Right? And everybody in Landview knows about his injury to his knee. Well, he's taking physical therapy for that knee every day, and at that clinic, according to him, they have 100 heartbreaking and heartwarming stories about these little kids that need orthopedic rehabilitation.
Yes, I can imagine.
Well, he also says that they're lacking in funds and staff, and that's where we come in.
We, Anthony?
Yes, Dorian. I need a leader. Somebody who can pull it all together and has civic responsibility. In short, I need you.
Interesting. You didn't go to Estelle Chadwick first, did you?
I haven't even spoken to her. Want to think about it for a while, or would you like to hear some more ideas?
I'd like to hear some specific ideas, yes.
Oh, all right. Well, Alec Lowndes is to be the spokesperson for this whole campaign. Now, Alec Lowndes, everybody else knows about that injury, and they feel bad about it. He's well loved in Landview. And see, I had this idea where, oh, forgive me, see, there's a poster idea I have where he's kind of standing there and holding one of these small children in his arms. And I thought maybe the caption on the poster could read something to the effect that this child would never be able to play football if we can't raise the funds for that rehab center.
Tastefully exploitive. Manipulative. Guaranteed to empty people's pockets.
We see things the same way.
Could that be? Cassie!
Hi, David. Hope you're not too busy.
No, come on in out of the snow.
I know, it's really calming down.
Ooh, so I saw. I hope you got snow tires on.
Oh, yeah, Garrett put them on for me.
Yeah? What do I owe the pleasure of this visit?
Oh, well, David, we have to have a really big talk, because I found out all about you.
Now, you two tell me, when my own flesh and blood gets off, believing a hired assassin over his own father.
Oh, no, wait a minute. How many times have you lied to us? You know, it's not as if you have given us a lot of reason to have an unshakable trust in you.
Come in here, you even ask. He just called me a liar.
So, you're going to stand there and tell me you're not?
Hey, I always said part of that treasure is rightfully mine. That's all I ever said.
Part of it. Part of it. What were you going to do with the rest of it? Ship it right back to the peasants in San Carlos, right?
Hey. Those peasants stole my refinery. They're making money off my oil. Meanwhile, I am going to compensate myself some way.
So you did lie. You were planning to keep it all for yourself.
I swear you breathing heart liberals were going to be the ruination of this country.
Wait a minute. This is not a political discussion. This is about you putting your family in danger for money that wasn't even yours to begin with.
The money is mine, don't you listen?
Okay, son. Look, you don't understand the way we look at this, and we will never agree that you're right. But for now, Clint and Bo are out of it, and that's all I care about.
That's right. And you had better bow out of this, too, Pa. Because if you don't, I'm going to tell you something. If you don't, and you do get your hands on those millions, I'm going to blow the whistle on you.
You dare do that? All right. This is marvelous. This is really what they call family loyalty, right?
Asa, give us a break. Did you care about your family with all this scrambling for Christophori?
You're damn right I did. Kevin, Joey, little Drew. They'd inherited that money someday.
Money they have no right to inherit.
You know, I wasn't going to come over here, but I didn't think it'd be worth it. For once, I hope to see my eldest son take my side.
Not this time.
What about Bo? Are you going to do anything to maybe patch that up between us?
I think you better do your own patching up, Paul, with all of us.
Yeah, but that would entail changing some of your values, Asa. Is that possible?
Okay, what and how did you find out about me?
From Simon.
Simon?
Well, yes, David, don't be mad at him. I forced it out of him. And I promised him I wouldn't tell anybody. You're incredible. I mean, leading a double life, helping those people in San Carlos, risking your life. I mean, he explained to me about the revolution and everything, which led him to meet you.
I told Simon you were the last person I wanted involved in this.
David, I'm not involved in anything.
Yes.
I mean,
all right.
you and Simon aren't in any danger, are you?
No, it's not that. It's just something that would be much better kept secret, that's all.
Well, I won't spread it around. And I certainly admire you.
Now look, you listen to me. This is not like in the movies or any of these spy novels that you might have read, all right? Don't go making a hero out of me, please.
I can't help it because I already have. Was that why you were blamed for Scott Edgar's murder?
Now, that doesn't concern you now, really. The less you know about any of that, the better.
All right, I won't pry.
Thank you.
Except for when I was wrong about you and my mother, Well, I've always had a lot of respect for you, David. And now I even have more.
You've got me blushing. I hope you're satisfied.
Well, what did you want me to do? Act like nothing happened?
Now, listen. That was in my past, my far distant past, okay? I am now just a musician, nothing more.
Right. I'll keep all my admiration to myself. Except I think you're pretty neat.
Well, I'm glad you approve of me.
Well, I better get going, because I've got lots of homework to do.
All right, you run along and we'll talk soon.
David, one more thing. Does my mother know about your underground work?
We agreed, no questions.
Okay.
Okay. Now.
But someday I want you to tell me about everything.
Someday. You run along and be very careful driving home.
Okay. Good night. Woo.
Good night.
Well, Simon, aren't you going to say hello to your own mother?